79 The Box. This is DJ Eric, one part of the Big Low and Eric show. Right now you're tuned in to Tea with Monroe. Sex, love, scandal, harassment. You get the tea right now. Tea with Monroe podcast. Officially told me.
Welcome back to another episode of Tea with Monroe. This is Monroe Bishop.
And this is Larry White.
Hey.
How you doing?
Feel like it's been forever.
Yes, it has.
It has. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So what you been up to? Tell everybody what you been up to. What's going on in Larry's world?
Well, in Larry's world, Larry just chasing down folks.
What you mean?
What I always do, I chase people down.
You need to clarify that because that can go all kinds of ways. Chasing people down for what?
We like to sue folks. Well, we like to serve folks that get sued.
Who like to serve folks that get? Oh, you like to serve folks that get sued.
Well, I'm chasing them down.
I guess. You know what? I never really even heard of. Technically, and I've been served before, but I've never technically heard of it before until I met you. It's just such an anomaly to me. I'm just like, what? Yeah, people actually do this for a living?
Yeah, I bring new things to your life.
Yeah. So, do you get jumped or beat up or?
I ain't never get beat up, nah.
Well, not beat up, but I'm just saying, do people challenge you?
Yes, I've had that, of course, you know that. But I don't get beat up.
Well, of course you don't get beat up because somebody put hands on. But you know what? You did get beat up one time. Remember you served that one paper and somebody knocked your headphones out your head, out your ear.
Oh, there was a female that attacked me. I didn't know what to do. I was on the.
Did you feel like slapping her back?
I almost went to jail that day. I served her on the VA. Right. You can't serve up there on property without their permission, and it's a federal property, and that was.
I just think she was mad because she was getting served.
Oh yeah, she was using the VA as cover, so she was not making herself available. Even if I went through the proper channels, they would have notified her, and she would have just dipped out somewhere. So
that's the thing about serving. I mean, you can avoid service. Do you get in any type of trouble if you're not served?
Yeah, you can get in trouble. No, you can't get in trouble if you're not served. But you can get in trouble if you can prove if it's proven that you are evading service. Yeah, you can't get in trouble. Yeah, people don't realize that that's illegal.
To avoid service?
Yeah.
So I can go to jail for avoiding service. If I'm getting served with some papers for divorce, child support,
and you're doing put it like this: if I was helping you avoid service, I can get in trouble. Mm-hmm. And I think they did pass something about, recently about a person that's avoiding service. They can get in trouble if they intentionally. If it can be proven that you actually took steps to avoid, not just being aided for service evasion, but you actually the person that's being served being avoided. I think there's something in there about some code about you can get in trouble. So
I think it's just really funny to me how couples who aren't together, haven't been together in years, have actually established lives beyond their relationship, like another girlfriend, another family, another kid, have another children, and they moved on, but they avoid being served divorce papers.
Well, they don't. Okay, well, in Texas, you accumulate assets even though you're not together.
So there's no legal separation?
No, we don't have a legal separation. You're married.
So if we're married and living separately for 10 years,
people come back.
I still have a right.
Yeah.
Wow.
You come back and the dude can have a whole nother family. He can come back and just have to give you half.
I had to actually, it wasn't here in Texas, but I actually know of somebody who was with somebody who was married. They were separated for 15, about 15 years, I think. And they had been together, and they had moved to another state. He moved to another state with his girlfriend. And he ended up dying unexpectedly.
Yep.
The wife came in.
Yep. And that's what happens.
Like Wonder Woman, like Supergirl, and came
Matter
in
of
and
fact,
took everything.
Yeah.
Everything that they had built together, everything that he had contributed to that house, she took everything. And insult to injury, she took the body back to their hometown. Didn't want nothing to do with him while the whole time that she was away from him. Had a whole new family somewhere else. He started a whole new family. Took the body back to their hometown because she wanted him to be closer to her children,
right?
Not necessarily the family of the children, the family he made.
Yep.
I mean, it was sad.
Yeah, it happens.
It was sad. That's why it's so important. If you're not gonna be together,
well, a will would have been able to circumvent some of that.
Like what?
A will, with a will, you probably could have shown, like, if you purchased something recently and they had been separated, you can probably prove that in the court, and they didn't have the will. They left this person there, they left this person there. So you would have bought a house together and left it. That would have been, something. But when you married, all three of y'all bought a house. You, the new girlfriend, or and the wife. That's kind of how it works. So.
You got to protect yourself, male or female. You got to protect yourself. I mean, and back in older times, older days, you would, people had a tendency to separate, start new families, and move on, and just be married forever to the wife, but have a girlfriend and a new family. So, but today you don't have to do that.
I don't know. I know that a lot of the southern,
let me see.
The southern states have a lot of, to me, have harder. That's why you can go somewhere like Chicago and have a legal separation, and not get a divorce, but you can be legally separated. But like in the South, that's not as common. And the reason I say that is because back in the day, people used to have these big old plantations, big old whatever, and
own a lot of property.
Right, and then when they would decide they want to divorce their wives, it'd be people working in the oil and gas industry. But I'm just saying, way back in the day, they had cattle farms, maybe even slaves. I don't know. I'm just going way back. And when they divorced, they would divorce their wife and left her with nothing. So that's why it's like a straight down the middle half thing, because you think twice before you divorce.
Well, that was probably the culture and the era back then, where
and you just couldn't get a divorce back
because
then.
women didn't have any rights with anything. So if your husband divorced you,
right,
he could take everything, because technically, if he married you, he took everything you came with anyway.
Well, you not only that, but you just couldn't get a divorce like that.
But suppose it was his ass who wanted to get a divorce, which 9 times out of 10 it was.
That's what I'm saying. You have to prove certain things for a divorce. So,
and a lot of times the women didn't have any money to fight the divorce.
Right, but my point I'm trying to make is that you have to. Back then, like right now, if I want a divorce, I can just say I want a divorce and just go file divorce papers. Back then, you had to prove a divorce. You had to actually have grounds for a divorce. That's why grounds are in there. Not irreconcilable differences, but you had to actually, like, she had an affair, or she abandoned me. She just left and just abandoned me, or she, the typical things that women do,
Anyway, we're finna change this subject before you get cut up in here. You always blaming women for everything. Everything is always our fault.
Well,
whatever. So you know what? So we're big movie fans, right?
Right.
And we have been waiting like crazy for Black Panther to come out.
Right.
So I've heard that actually the movie has been having a lot of. It's been boycotted. It's been ridiculed. Boycotted one because they found out that the young man, what's his name, Michael B. Jordan, is reportedly dating a white woman. Now, I don't think she's white. I think she's Hispanic. I think I found out later that she is Hispanic, that she's dating a Hispanic woman. So he shouldn't be a representation of a Black Panther type superhero in an African country, but dating a non-black woman, and they're actually boycotting. And some people are for the boycott, and some are against the boycott, depending on where you fall in how you feel about interracial stuff and your power to the people philosophy. When you feel like applying it to whoever you want to apply it to, how people fickle about stuff, and a lot of, I'm gonna say this, a lot of black women have issues in general with black men dating outside of their race. So I guess I don't want to say that per se in this case, because I'm not really fully aware of the entire story, other than the fact that he's dating somebody that is non-black and people are protesting big time. And they're also, I can't say they're boycotting, but they have a lot of opinions because of, I guess, the black superhero movement. I don't know who these people are that get out here and rally and say, well, we have all these superheroes. We have Iron Man, Superman, Hulk, and all these different people. We're the black Marvel or the black DC superheroes. And so people are kind of like, let the heroes be the heroes and stop determining who can be a hero based on their skin color. So that's another thing that's sitting out there also. What do you think about that?
I think people got too much time on their hands.
I do too. But you even told me that people are very diehard when it comes to these comic book characters.
Well, I'm going to say this. Like, some of these characters are old, 20, 30 years old. All right, Black Panther been around for a while. I don't know how old he is, but as far as his creation, but Black Panther is he's a black superhero, and you're not going to turn him white.
Is he Marvel?
He is a DC.
He's DC.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's been around.
Do you know his premise of his character? I know based on I love these movies, but I don't know their history.
Wakanda. He's from Wakanda. He's the prince of, the prince or either king of Wakanda. And he's a protector of his people. And they have special metal that makes that nation very powerful. So the metal is the same metal that Captain America shield is made out of, and it's so rare.
Okay.
It's rare metal.
I think I saw him in one of the Avengers. Was he in Avengers where his dad got killed?
Yes.
Okay. I remember that. Okay.
So that is
so the bad guys are after the metal.
Yeah, that's what makes the nation is very secret and very high tech because of the metal. It's more high tech than most nations, even the United States, supposedly. And so it's very secret type of society.
My naivete is kicking in right now. Is this metal for real?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not real. No.
So what do you think about them boycotting because he's dating outside of his race?
They got too much time. That's just dumb because let's just say this. I'm pretty sure he tried out for the role and he was picked for the role. So if we're gonna worry about who's playing a character, you have to worry about, like, if they did a Captain America movie and there's no black actor in it, that's gonna be a problem. It's always gonna be somebody.
But you gotta think about the premise of the Black Panther. Now, Black Panther, even though this is a Wakanda situation, it has a.
I don't even know if Wakanda is real. Pretty sure it probably is a real place. I don't know.
But the name itself has a different connotation in terms of the Black Panther movement. I'm not know if he personifies or if his character has anything to do with that, but it kind of like you protecting a African country. You supposed to be power to the people. You supposed to be very culturally in love with your culture, in love with everything about your community. That's
so unfair.
It is because
unfair. That's the problem that I have with a lot of the black movement. I'm pro black, want to see prosperity in the black community, want to see individual black people pull themselves up and actually help them develop as a group of people,
right,
to be great. The problem that I have is that when you step out and be different, or if you are different, everybody is not the same, but if you think differently or if you speak differently, not just not just the dialect, but your words. If you speak from a different thought process, you're criticized as not being black. Or
Black
if
enough.
even if you date somebody outside your race. So what if you fell in love or you started dating somebody? Maybe you don't have a preference to where it's just to one race.
Right.
So it's not really a fair thing, because if you want to see black people come up, let them come up. I think, and if I'm not, I may be wrong about this, but I think Sidney Poitier, didn't he date a white woman before? I don't know.
I don't know, but I think they're coming from the standpoint it's hypocritical. But here's my thing. I agree with you, because I think it's too much time on your hands, because this is a man who's playing a character.
Exactly.
You got to separate the character from his life.
Well,
and just because he's dating someone who's non-black doesn't make him any less black. He just has a preference.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm glad, because Black Panther, he was recently brought into the what is it, the gang, Avengers, the Avengers. He's an Avenger character. Mm-hmm. He was not. I'm not sure if he was one of the original Avengers. He may have been one of the original Avengers. I'm not sure, but he was. I think he was recently brought in. I know that Falcon was, which is another black character. He was recently brought in. He didn't even get his own movie. That's the tripped out part. They skipped right over Falcon. They gave.
He came out before Black Panther.
Well, Panther, I believe, is an original. I believe. I may be wrong. I may be over talking what I know, but I think he was an original Avenger. But Falcon, I think, is pretty relevantly new, as far as I think they based him off the newer cartoons of the Avengers. But
he's Marvel. Did we say that already?
You know what? I did say DC, didn't I?
Yeah, he's Marvel.
He is Marvel. Black Panther is Marvel. I'm sorry about that. I know. I usually.
You better clean that up when these fans come for you.
I know. And then, but you know what? Sitting there thinking about it, how are they trying to make it sound like Black Panther is the first superhero? We had Luke Cage out already. With
yeah. What is Luke Cage though?
He's Marvel.
He's Marvel. Okay.
Yeah,
I love me some Luke
Marvel
Cage.
had Luke Cage out, and they had Falcon out.
But they kept him on Netflix. Why didn't they bring him to the big screen?
Well, Luke Cage is a B. He's a B-list superhero.
Oh, okay.
So what I mean by B-list superhero, you got your A's, which they protect the world in the universe. The A-list superheroes.
He's local. He protect the hood.
He protect the area in there. Like Batman protect Gotham.
But so is Batman a B-list?
But Batman is not a B-list.
He need to be B-list. He weak.
Superman protect Metropolis, but he is he's a A-list because when they come together, they protect the world in the universe.
Yeah, because whoever these villains are coming to take over the world, not just Metropolis or Gotham.
Right.
They coming for all of us.
Right. So that's how it works. So, but I can go into those.
I just think I need to let Black Panther live. Like I said before, how he lives his private life is one thing, and I think we should have more superheroes, whatever race they're in. I don't know who did Marvel. What's his name? Stan Lee? Mm-hmm. Did you know he got somebody accused him of sexual assault?
People got too much time on it.
I was like, how old is he? Like 100? And you just now? It has to be a limitation. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't even want to get into that because we could be here all night talking about the sexual assaults. And it's so many people have come forward now against so many people. We'll be here all night.
And not all of it is real, but go ahead.
You said not all of it's real.
Nah, I don't want to hear that.
You finna get in trouble. Okay, so listen. Genuine refused to kiss a trans woman on live television show, and he has been taking the heat. He has been called homophobic. The gay community is coming out with their claws out for Genuine. So how do you feel about that? Because I feel some type of way they treating Genuine that way.
Yeah. If you're a man, if you're born a man, you're a man.
Nope, not because of that. It's not even that. It's the fact that
Huh?
Even if it was a woman, well, let me stop and say that. I'm not saying the trans female is not a woman. What I'm saying is, regardless of who it was on that couch trying to kiss him, somebody who's not in a relationship with him, he has every right to push them away. You don't.
Well,
if somebody
I
come
agree
as a
with you.
female, if somebody tried to kiss me, that's offensive to me. I don't know you. Don't be kissing on me. I don't think it had anything to do with the young lady being a transgender, but everything to do with his personal space and his boundaries. And that's sexual assault.
Let's just say that. Let's just say for the sake of the argument that he has an issue with transgender as far as whether he wants to accept transgender in his sex life. If you want to consider kissing, then he has a right not to. And you're right. Even if it's a woman, if it's a woman that want to kiss me and I didn't want to, hey, no, don't kiss upon me.
Right.
But for argument's sake, it's his preference. So if we're gonna give preferences out to different I want to say communities, then I should have the right to deny myself to it. All of this, if you don't agree with an idea, then you are racist or a bigot. It's stupid to me. If a white person feels like that I'm not his equal, or that black people aren't such and such, that's his problem. It's not mine. It should not affect my life just because he feels that way. Now, when it starts affecting my life, I have a problem with that. Now, so for example, if I was transgender or if I was gay or whatever, and if it was affecting my life, I can even understand. But I think sexuality is a private issue. I've always said that
it is private,
and I feel like that if you're going to be, if you gay, to me, I don't think that's something that everybody needs. If you want everybody to know that that's the person you're with, then live that life. You be about it, because, but people are going to have their own preferences and belief systems that you're going to have to deal with. You're just going to have to deal with it. It's just like the white and the black, like we just talked about.
Right.
That person that's black has the right to date a white person, and a white man has the right to date a black woman. But like you were saying that black women have a lot of them have a problem with black guys dating white women and vice versa.
Right.
Because I think one of the issues is that there's not enough black men to go around, and they feel like they have to compete with white women as well as other sisters that's looking for a man. Mm-hmm. And I said before, date outside your race, but I'm gonna even go better than that. If you really want to stay within your race, you need to try to go to Africa or a Caribbean island. Oh, I'm serious. And see what's there. Because
we got to go out the country to find us a man.
But it's the truth. Because you got to remember that there's only so many of black men in America.
People should be able to date who they want to date.
Well, I agree. But if your preference is black, either you're going to share. I mean, if it's 10-1 on a man,
they sharing men. A lot of women out here sharing men.
If it's 10-1 on a man, then that means if you wanted to get a man, then you might you're gonna share that dude some sort of way.
Right.
If you can't find one, or you're gonna have to go outside, or either go outside your race or go outside your country, and actually go find a husband. Because black one of the things is we end up killing most black men getting killed these days.
Okay, let's reel this.
That's one issue. Hold on, no,
okay,
this is
let's
relevant.
reel this back in the genuine, because this is not just a straight man. Transsexual. This is something that is it's out here now with all these sexual assault cases. If this had been a man who tried to plant a wet kiss on a woman and she pushed him away, they was like, well, why is he trying to kiss her? That is so inappropriate. You don't just go around kissing on women like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like they went after him only because she's a trans female, and I don't think that's fair at all.
It's not fair. That's how you curb the politics. That's how you you push the agendas.
And because he said, okay, now I'm reading a little further here. I'm reading on BET. It says there was on Celebrity Big Brother UK, and it was on an episode which I had no idea he was on Big Brother. And the housemate was India Wooby, which is the trans female. And a controversy came up, and she said the pony singer, which she asked, would he date a trans woman? You would date me, yeah, Wilbur said, who is a trans woman. And he said, not if you're trans. And after Genuine replied that he would not date a trans woman, that's when she went in to kiss him. And when he pushed her away, she jumped off and stormed out. And of course, they made it a big to-do. It was split sides on Black Twitter. No, Black Twitter is it's the hot thing right now. It was two sides.
Never heard of
it. It was two sides, people siding with Genuine and people siding with India. And for me personally, I just think it's just really...
Well, I don't know if that's the case. He didn't even...
He's transphobic and bigoted because he won't date a trans woman. Why can't that be a preference? Like, I don't date white men. Why can't this be a preference?
Well, not only that, but it's more than a preference. Not everybody... You got to have okay... People, and I know I'm stealing my words because just the thought of when you just described would just horrify me myself if somebody tried to kiss me like that. Because
anybody,
well,
male, female, trans, anybody.
If I didn't want you to kiss me, yes, it'll horrify me because it'd be like, what is this? What's this woman trying to kiss up on me? What if it was an old woman? Let's just say, would you date me? No. And she's 97 years old.
Give me a kiss,
and
baby.
try to kiss up on me. It'll be the same reaction. Whoa.
Wait a minute, mama. Wait a minute, grandma.
So my point is that, but just to thinking that it's a trans, because, okay, not that somebody is, what if it was a dude that was gay and he tried to kiss up on that dude? And he said, not if you gay, not if you a dude. And he did the same. What is the same thing? What makes it different is that because you cut your wing off, or you put some boobs on, or you dress like a woman. What makes it different than that you're not a man? You're still a man to me because you're born a man. Whether you did whatever you did, everything to change it, it does not make you less, make you more of a woman.
That's going in very deep because a trans person feels. They feel as if who they are, and they're changing themselves to reflect who they are on the inside. That is not something that we should judge.
I take that back.
Yeah.
You're right. They got the right to feel however they want to feel, and they can change however they want. But I got the right to feel as far as if you a woman or you a man still to me. That's my feelings. If they got the right to change themselves, then I got the right to say I disagree.
Well, you have a right to disagree whether you want to date them or not.
I have a right to disagree that they are considered a woman or a man.
You don't have that right to.
Yes,
you don't
I
have
do.
to agree with it, but
exactly, I don't, and that's still me making a decision.
Okay.
I don't agree. If I don't think that's who you are, then that's not who you are. Nah.
Why is it though that we're always getting attacked? Not we, you and I, but just in general, people are being attacked for having a preference, or why we gotta be homophobic because we don't want to date somebody who's gay. Just because I wouldn't date a woman don't make me homophobic. I just choose not to date a woman. That's my choice. You know what I'm saying? And I just think people are just too damn sensitive. We get sensitive off the littlest stuff. I mean,
I was trying to I was trying to lure to this earlier.
Allude.
Yes, that's how you push the politics. You take an issue, you make a big deal about it, and you try to persuade the public to agree with you by the audacity of something. So if it's been tested that, or if it's been out there polled that a certain percentage of people believe that the gay movement or the black movement or whatever it is, and they believe in it, or a certain percentage of people, then what they do is they try to start the television ads start going that way, or the movies start talking about it. Hollywood people start speaking up on it. Remember when they start doing during the bullying movement, people being bullied. Remember that?
I have an issue with movement. I mean,
Well, that's what it was.
Okay,
But see, don't nothing get unified like that unless there's a movement. And then some is natural.
Movement to me makes it seems like it's not important. Like they have to
No.
band together to make it important. You shouldn't have to do that.
There's a natural movement, and then there's a generated movement.
Okay.
And most things nowadays are generated movements. So
certain things are warranted. Bullying, that should be a natural movement.
That wasn't a natural movement. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna take that back. I'm not sure bullying was a natural movement, but I can say a natural movement can start, but then there's a movement or campaign, however you want to call it. A natural movement campaign can start, but it's always hijacked.
Yeah, about people who trying to make money and benefit off of it.
They have an agenda,
right?
And it's the politics of it. So you can have. What that was?
You were stepping on something over there.
So, but whatever that is, it can actually, how I got lost in what the word said, but a movement, you basically can. I'm trying to think what I was trying to say here.
You was talking about a natural versus hijack movement politics.
Right. So basically you can have manufactured movements, and that's what a lot of these things are like. For example, perfect example of one that was a natural movement that got hijacked. The sexual assault. All these women coming out. You tipped on something earlier. It started in Hollywood with Harvey Weinstein. I believe it was a comedian or somebody made a comment about Harvey. And then somebody came out and said that he did this and that and that, and then another woman, and then another woman, and then another. It became a big thing. And then everybody was reporting, and then he was defending himself. And then other actors and celebrities started getting accused. That was a natural phenomenon that started right there. Yeah. And then they decided to make a political issue of it. So they had a strategy. So they was going to out everybody. And so it became a political movement. Now you see everybody getting outed, and they got the Me Too and all this other stuff. So it's not genuine to me anymore, That's
because I did read somewhere today that somebody's trying to sue, I want to say Russell Simmons for some dollar amount of money. I mean, when you start, I can't say that you don't deserve anything for your pain and suffering, but when you started trying to capitalize on something, and I can't say when you should have spoke out or when, that's your personal journey. But when you start trying to capitalize after all this stuff and all this time, it does become less genuine. I think the point now should be, this should give empowerment to women and men to be able to speak out when it happens, in that moment, when it happens, and not have any repercussions done to them in the process, not losing their job, not getting a job, not being ostracized, not being ridiculed. You should be able to speak out. This should give people a voice, not an opportunity to capitalize financially, especially if after so much time. The issue I have with this is so much time has gone by. And again, I'm not minimizing anybody's situation because it was wrong. It's dead wrong. What they did was wrong. But you can't tell me, and I'm not in Hollywood, I'm just little old me, little Monroe from Perry, Florida. You cannot tell me all these people, the predators, they did not know. They knew. Well, people knew, and they kept quiet. So you're just as guilty as the person who was actually if I see somebody right by me, something happened to them, or I know for a fact something has happened, or this person is doing this to me and is rumored to do it to other women, and I haven't said anything, I'm just as bad as he is. Somebody knew this was going on. Yeah. And again, you're right. It's losing what it's really meant to do. It really is, So just real quick, I'm a social media queen. I kind of post pictures here and there and everywhere. Not bathing suit pictures, not because I don't want to post bathing suit pictures, because I'm not really happy with my body right now. So
Well, you're not gonna be posting no bathing suit pictures if I say you're not.
that's fine. But suppose we're on vacation on the beach and we taking pictures and chilling. That's different. It's not nothing sexual or anything. It's just so anyway.
Yeah, I'll take the picture.
So here's my question. Is it or is it not appropriate for men in general? You're my husband. You have an Instagram account. You have a Facebook account. You have Twitter.
Right.
Is it appropriate for you to be going through pictures of other women in sexy attire, whether it's bikini or sexy outfits, liking their pictures? Because the message that is being sent is, if you like my picture, you into me. You're interested in me. You checking me out. You building my head up. You making me feel like I'm this, that, and the third because you liking my pictures. So if I see you, my husband, because if we're friends we're following each other on Instagram, I can see somewhat what a trend if you're liking stuff. Like I was out there liking a lot of celebrity stuff, and Michelle was like, "Are you out there liking? Did you come in on Saturday?" She can't see, but she can see my trend of what I'm doing out there.
Right.
Is it appropriate for you to be doing that as a married man, for one? And secondly, how is it appropriate for me and you and another couple out on the beach and we're taking pictures? Is it appropriate for you to like your friend's wife's bathing suit picture?
Well, see, this is the problem with social media. But okay, if I see somebody in a bathing suit, I'm gonna like the picture. If I like the picture, okay.
That mean you checking her out? You looking at her booty? You looking at her curves?
She putting it out there for me to look at. So I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna like the picture if I like the picture. Now I'm not gonna comment on nobody's picture. Now commenting is a different thing. To me, that is liking a picture and commenting is two different things. Commenting, you put an extra effort there to say something about that picture. Now, let's say if it's like you said, a woman in a bikini suit, and I said, "Girl, you better." Woo. Well, I'm just saying, what if
How
I
you
said,
spell that?
Yeah, I'm just saying, what if I put that out there on it? That's inappropriate. That's inappropriate.
Especially if you're married.
Yeah, it's inappropriate. Married or even dating somebody, because it's an embarrassment. Because
Right.
you're supposed to be looking at me or dating me. Now, liking a picture is like, that's a nice picture.
But you know,
oh hey, however you want to take it.
liking pictures now mean you.
Well, I look at it differently. I don't even think of, because I like everything. So what if I like a dude picture, a homeboy picture? And I say like, does that mean I'm checking them out? I mean, that's
It's
so
different with the opposite sex,
no,
though.
that's so unfair. Not these days. I just like, it was one of my homeboy. I like.
Okay, now I suppose we at the beach in the Bahamas, so I take a cute bathing suit picture, and your friend, I don't know, Deshaun, Jeff, or somebody like my picture, like, "Ooh, Tiffany, you work it, girl."
Commenting is a different.
So
thing.
you wouldn't care if they like it, but if they said something, it would be different.
It can depend on what it is. Relationship. Okay, relationships matter, and what I mean by that is your relationship with the person that is commenting to you matters. So that does matter. Now, some people don't care; they have zero tolerance. I don't. Some things I'll be like, if I know the person, I know their personality. I know the way they talk, way they play, the way they communicate or whatever. I'm not tripping. Some people compliment and they just do it and they don't care who it is. Oh, dang, girl, and they just compliment, but they don't mean it. They laugh and joke and playing and have no bad intention, no ill will. So,
but is it appropriate?
It's probably not all appropriate.
Would you, if you saw Jeff's wife out there in a bikini and she looked nice in it, would you like her picture? Would you feel comfortable liking your best friend's wife's picture?
No,
now,
I probably wouldn't, because I would not want. But if he, okay, when I say let her, I want people to know that I don't mean like actually gonna. But he must be okay with her posting a picture, because if he had a problem with it, he would ask her, please take that down. Whatever.
But you
if
know,
they're married.
you kind of know that people admire somebody that you're with, like whether it's your husband or your wife. But it is a very thin line on social media, because it can be taken so much out of context, because social media is used as a platform to move forward in whatever type of relationship you're seeking.
Well, if you're putting it out there for the general public to see, and somebody likes or comment on it, then and they doing it in the open, then most likely
It's innocent.
they don't mean much by it. But people start doing that, girl, inboxing you, telling me, yeah, I like that picture. They up to no good.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's be fair to people. I mean, social media is social media. You know, I don't see many people get upset behind liking somebody.
Yeah, because you know that happened to me. It wasn't no sexy picture, but you remember we had some friends, 2 girls that were dating, and one of them had a birthday, and we were all, I thought, all really good friends. And me, I'm a very, hey, beautiful, hey, sexy. I'm that type of person with everybody.
Right.
Happy birthday, sexy. And the one I thought who was my friend got very upset with me, and I didn't mean, and believe me when I tell you, I didn't mean anything by that. I was just being friendly, like I greet.
I know
when I greet you in person, I'm doing the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you like the homeboy picture, boy, look at you. Like, he ripped up. Oh, look at what you doing, boy. You never know what people think. So I mean, just saying.
But honestly, you can't, like, if a guy put their picture out there and you just like their picture, women would, what you doing liking my man picture? I mean, it's just ridiculous how.
Well, they shouldn't put it out there. I don't know what they thinking people gonna do. I mean, obviously you put it out there for people to like it.
Right.
Why you put it out there? Like, you want people to look at it.
Right.
You know? Anyway,
so I want to give a shout out to Style and Grace podcast. That's who I've been listening to this week. Very good podcast. And something that stood out with me when I was listening to them, they were actually talking about dating. And one of the things that came out of it, she asked him, it could have been vice versa, I can't remember. It's so sad I can't remember their names. I'm so bad with names. But anyway, she asked him, if you out with your girl and she brings her friend along, are you buying her friends drinks? And he said, no.
it depends on the relationship.
He said, I may buy her a drink, but if I leave my card at the bar with a tab open,
that's not for you.
That ain't for her.
Right.
And the young lady was like, well, why not? Because if I was out with my friend and everything was on me, I would take care of everybody. I'm not gonna isolate somebody because. And he was like, wait a minute now, I'm out with my girl. It's not my responsibility to make sure her friend has unlimited drinks and food. No, I'm not going to do that. I may offer to pay for a few things, but my tab is not staying open for her. Sorry.
Well, I know females that believe, now hear me, that if a group of women are all out and that's that guy there.
And he approached one of those females.
No. They're all out and they all met up with him. Let's say they all, but he dating one of them, or even if he's not dating one of them, that they believe this is how some women, that guy should take care of that table.
I don't think so.
That's how a lot of women think.
No,
but then there's the one where if they're together, and let's say if it is a tag along, they do expect the man to take care of that table. Remember we had that incident when we had somebody eat with us?
And she said that with her fingers like, you gonna get that bill?
Yeah. So
and you picked up on it too.
But I wasn't crazy, and guess what?
What?
I ended up paying for the bill. But let me tell you something. I already knew that thought process. That's out there. I've seen this so many times. And you know me, I'm funny acting. I'm like, and that'd be the last time, because I will tell people, you know, I don't think it should be the expectation.
I don't think it should be. I think it should be an option for you if that's what you choose to do. Because look, if we all out together with some friends,
it is an option.
I'm quick to say, oh, separate bills or whatever, or I may say, okay, I pay for her drink or his drink or whatever. But I don't think anybody should.
But there's that thought out there that the man is there and the man should take care of it. Then there's also the thought, like you said, there's some women that be like, don't be buying her no drinks. You know, they don't like the fact that you buying my girlfriend drinks too.
Well,
know?
but if you dating somebody, you pretty much know the thought process. Excuse me. You pretty much know the thought process before going into that type of situation. Because let me tell you, if me and you going out with a friend, and if I don't feel like you need to be paying, I'm gonna tell you up front. You make sure you get separate to let her pay for her own drinks.
Right, taking your money, taking your drink money. Huh?
See, and that's another thing too. I remember when we was kids. I don't know about your mama, but my mama was like, if you want to offer your friends a popsicle, they eating your popsicle. So once they eat that popsicle and they gone, you ain't gonna get no more popsicles. So don't be offering my drinks to people without my permission. I don't play that. I learned that lesson a long time ago. I don't know. But when I was single in the club and stuff, and a guy would approach me, and if I'm at a table with a couple of girls, I think it's rude for a guy to walk up and ask to buy you a drink. You need to buy everybody a drink.
I'm not trying to talk to your friends.
That's not the point. That's not
exactly.
to get my attention. You need to buy everybody a drink.
Then I don't want your attention. You're not that great.
I'm that great. Didn't you buy my friend a drink? You did.
I probably did, but guess what? I'm okay with that. But if you sitting at the table round robbing of women, and I got to buy the whole table of drink. No. That's what you just said.
Well, I'm just saying a few friends. Now I don't really go out with that many women. But if it's like a table of us, now unless you
what's a few friends? Three,
two, me and two others maybe. You can't buy us a drink. It's only like $7-10 a piece. That's $30. What's the big deal?
Okay. When you buy a drink, it's to get to know the person you're buying a drink with. Basically, hold on. A woman shouldn't. First of all, a woman shouldn't accept a man's drink unless she wants to conversate with them.
Exactly. So you buy them a drink and keep them occupied, and so you can have my full attention.
No. I don't. You can give me the heads up. Like you should say something like.
No. I'm talking about if you approach. If
I approach
was single,
to buy you a drink.
You gonna buy my and
you say that you gonna buy me and my friends, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna buy you a drink.
No, well, I'm sorry. Well, if you can't buy all of us drink, deuces.
Because guess what? They just let me know.
What?
Money hungry, money grabbing.
That is not
using.
It is not using.
That is what I'm gonna think.
A gentleman who walks up, and you know who was notorious for doing that?
Who?
Your favorite person, Donald Trump.
I don't care. Donald Trump a billionaire.
Look,
he is, and he's not my favorite person. It's just I like.
But what I'm
doing.
saying is, when he met one of them wives, he went through it. It was a table full of women.
I don't care. He's a billionaire. If I have $1 billion sitting in my pocket, I buy the whole club a drink.
Oh, because you're a billionaire?
Just
that's what it takes?
am. Just right.
That's the only time you're a gentleman? Is if you're a billionaire?
That's the only time I'm a gentleman like that. Is if I'm going to be
then you're not genuine then. You're not a genuine man.
I'm not a billionaire.
Here's my thing.
Hold on. That's my thing. I'm not a millionaire. So my $1, my $7 buying you a drink is for you. I'm not going to spend $24 just for you to say, thank you. You understand? And then you're like, oh, okay. Because that's what usually happens with it. A lot of times you take a risk of buying somebody a drink.
Yeah,
it could be trying to use you. Women.
No. Let's be clear. It's not using anybody. You take a risk as a man when you approach a female, like a female takes a risk. If you approach somebody and say, hey, can I buy you a drink? You take a risk if that person is going to talk. You could be looking like foo-foo. Boo-boo the bear. I may take your drink. That don't mean I'm going to spend. I'm not obligated to sit there and talk to you.
You're not, but you should know there's at least a time limit on that.
I don't know nothing.
There's a time limit on that drink. So
okay, you know what the time is from the time the drink come to the table. That's your time's up.
No, you know that means while you drinking that drink, I need to be in your ear.
No.
Yes.
And I remember we actually had this conversation with you about this, also about men buying women drinks and thinking they're obligated to spend time with them.
I don't remember it. I don't remember the conversation, but I'm telling you how I'm feeling about it right now.
Anyway, this conversation spent off into female and male roles, and she was basically saying how men should do and how men should not necessarily obligated, but these are certain things men should do as a man. And his position was nobody should feel like when they're dating somebody and they should be obligated to do something based on society standards. He's not obligated to do anything that he wants to do unless he wants to do it.
I agree.
And he said, guys want to be. He said, shit, I want to be swept off my feet too. Why the tables can't do? Why am I obligated to do all this for you to make you feel good? What about me? And he said both male and females can lead in a relationship based on all this stuff he was saying, and it's about respecting each other. Her retaliation was, men want us to work, bring home the bacon, fry up in the pan, and serve you. Now we got to make y'all ass feel good.
Well, guess what? Well,
and she said in the past, as a man, they wanted families to lead. Now they want a partnership with leadership benefits when they want to use leadership whenever it benefits them. And I agree with her. Well, you can't have it both ways.
I agree with that, but then I also agree that women want, what do you tell me all the time that attracts you?
What you mean?
Is that if I was to come home, cook, clean, do some things, they just turn you on, right?
Well, my love language is acts of service.
Okay, so what if I did that? What if that was my norm? And that's what I did. And then I go to work and I still come home and I cook and I clean.
But if that's who you are.
Hold on.
Okay, what's the question? Okay.
So that's an ideal man for most women. Dude that go to work, bring his money home, clean up, do all these things, be their husband.
Not all the time.
Okay, so my point that I'm making, and not all the time for what you just said there for men. So my point is, women want the same thing a man want. We want a woman that the family, whatever. We do want equal partnership. You don't want to know why? Because the economics of things have changed. You used to can live off of one house.
But how can you call yourself a leader if we want equal partnership and everything else?
You used to can live off of one income. You cannot live off of one income.
So are you
like
saying the leadership role has changed then? Because you can't be a leader and expect...
The leadership role never changes. But
it should.
No.
Why our role changes? Because based on your economic status, but your role doesn't change. It should change.
Okay, when you get married and you get a husband, you should not only respect your husband because the money's coming in. That's not the only time you deal with.
Said the money. You the one brought up the economics where two people in the household have to work.
You would never let me finish my thought process.
Fine, go ahead.
So what I was saying is that y'all want, the economic roles have changed. And that has happened. That has changed because you can't live off of, well, you can, but not in all cases.
You can.
Not in all cases to live the lifestyle you want. To have you have to have a 2 household income coming in a lot of times. You know, you could be making $100,000 a year as a single person. But the cost of living is so high.
But here's my thing though, but yes, that's true. But the expectation is, even though that is needed in the relationship, the expectations for the man is that you still be the wife and I am the leader. No, it's blurred now.
No,
it's blurred.
That should not change.
It does change dynamics, Larry. It does, because you can't come into a relationship to I'm the leader, get out there and work and bring home the money, come cook. It's not balanced now.
Is he cooking and cleaning?
No, he's not. Just say hypothetically he's not. He has a thought process. He has an old-fashioned thought process, a traditional thought process of a woman should do these things and a man should do these things. And one thing as men should lead.
He cannot. Okay, let's say.
So how can you be a rightful leader of your house when I'm contributing to the house?
It doesn't take away who he is. Positions matter. Okay, positions matter. People. So what I'm saying is he's still a husband, but if he's not working because he can't or he's just out of work at the time, that doesn't change his role of who he is. Now, if she's working, he has to pick up the other slack. If she's out there working, his job should be to either get a job. That should be his full-time job, is to try to find a job. And if it's still not happening, he needs to try to implement some of the household duties so that when she come home, she don't have to. That's just obvious.
But what I'm saying is, it's really unfair that, and I agree with her, you all want a partnership,
I'm not getting what you're saying. You're saying
You want this part. You know what a partnership is? Everybody contributes. Like if you're in a partnership in a business, you and your partner work together
a marriage is
holistically.
a partnership.
In theory, maybe
It's a partnership all the way around.
Okay, it is in theory, maybe, but it's changed now. The society dynamics have changed in the household. It's not the same anymore. It's not biblical anymore, where a man goes out and works and kills and brings home the food, and the woman cooks and takes care of the family, rears the kids. It's different now.
But it hasn't changed. It has not changed. What I mean by it hasn't changed is the positions of what you are, who you are, and what you are. It's gonna be constant.
Okay, that may be constant, but the dynamics of the way things are done is different because we are out here doing the same thing that you're doing. We're working.
That doesn't change the role of who you are.
But then you have a man who wants you to work, bring home the bacon, pay bills, do all this, and then continue. I need you to cook. I need you to clean. I need you to take care of the kids. I need you to
what
do
is
this.
he doing?
Working and kicking his feet up, biting his fingernails.
He's working, biting his fingernails, kicking his feet up. Okay, and then what? But what is he doing? What is
being taken care of like he feel like a man should be taken care of by a woman?
Is he doing stuff like yard work? That's usually the traditional man.
You do yard work?
No, I don't. Not anymore, but I have.
Okay.
And I will if I have to.
Okay, you don't do yard work, but I still do housework.
Well, I pay for a yard man.
Okay, then pay for to get the house clean too. No.
If that's the case, you pay for it.
No, I should not. You are the man of the house.
You're not the only one to do housework.
I work.
You ain't the only one to do housework.
Listen, you don't want to.
I don't even want to hear that. I ain't even gonna get on there, mate. But my point is that you.
It's a leadership of y'all want to be leaders when it's convenient for you. No. Y'all want to dictate when it's convenient for you, when it's benefiting you.
Let me explain something to you. It's still the same roles. I'm not saying that. See, you got to remember, you saying roles as if the man is the only one that's supposed to work and take care. No, it is a man's duty to provide. It is actually.
But if y'all need help providing, then what?
Okay, so if you need help, no, we don't need help providing. You just got to live within the income that the man.
Okay, let's do it then.
Brings in. That is easy.
Let's do it.
That is easy, real easy.
Just give me a shoe allowance. No.
See, that's part of the problem with it. There's not always an allowance involved.
I need an allowance.
All right, so it's probably is an allowance involved, but you may not like it. So
that's why I take my ass to work.
So that's what I'm saying. So I can go out here and make $1 million, and just because I make $1 million don't mean I'm gonna waste $1 million.
I think the only way you could justify you still being the leader of anything is if you pulling partnership weight. You know what I'm saying? So if I got to leave out the house, the same time you do every day, and I'm coming home the same time you do, we should be making sure everything in the house is taken care of holistically.
I agree with that.
You can't come home and sit down and say, "Fix my plate."
I agree with that. I agree that and that's another thing. Nobody should be expecting somebody to fix their plate. I totally agree. Now, if somebody likes to do it and wants to do that,
I'm a plate fixer.
I know that you are a plate fixer, but nobody should be expecting that.
I know you don't expect that.
That's something
you kind of got spoiled by it, but you don't expect that.
Yeah, but that ain't my thing. I mean, I love that, but I can do without, to be honest with you. I would not put that on nobody. Seriously, I would, because I grew up in a household where
a single family home where
you gotta go. You gotta go
get your own plate, boy.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna put that on there. Even feeding me, we had to learn. My mother had it where you better go in there and survive. Whatever I got in there, you better try to make something out of it, and that's what we did. So that's why if I get hungry, I just go to McDonald's. If I'm that hungry, go get me something to eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's how my thought process is. So, but as far as home care, that actually comes into play, like just things getting taken care of around the house. I think people all do the things that they want to do at the time. So when let's just say if it's a guy, he's gonna go take care of the things that he wants to take care of at the time. And if it's a woman, she has expectations of what she expects the house to be and what needs to be done around the house. Right. And it's just maybe not on the same sync. But a guy is gonna take care of things if you're not doing it, guess what? I may bitch about it. I may get mad about it, but I'm gonna go do it. That is really what it is. But you sitting there letting clothes or the bedroom just go to the disaster. At some point, I'm gonna be over there folding clothes. Man, don't do nothing around here, and I'm gonna eventually do it. That's just what it is.
That's what I gotta do. Stop doing.
Just like if I let that grass grow, you're gonna get either somebody you gonna hire somebody to cut that grass,
I'm gonna give you your bank account number. I ain't cutting no grass now. I'm getting your credit card.
You see how it works?
Yes.
See, so that's the same thing. So it is a partnership.
You just had to finish up with that.
Yeah. So,
well, leadership benefits. Shit. Anyway, so just recently, Amber Rose left kicking and screaming at the White House, and one of the things that she left behind was
Amber Rose.
Not Amber Rose. What's it? Omarosa.
Amber Rose was at the White House. Well.
Oh, Amber, I am so sorry, girl. I know darn well you ain't witch. Oh, I'm sorry. That was so offensive. That was offensive.
What?
The fact that she would be in the White House with Donald Trump. Yuck.
Donald Trump is a billionaire. Amber Rose be in the White House. I'm just saying.
I meant Omarosa. I don't know why I get that name. Omarosa, Amber Rose. Anyway, Omarosa went kicking and screaming out the White House recently because she got fired for whatever reason. And one of the things that she left behind was a little reputation saying that she was giving Trump some head.
She said that?
I don't know if she said it, but I heard it somewhere that she was giving blowjob. So this came up for me, the topic about black women and blowjobs and the stigmatism behind it. And there was also...
I don't believe that, but anyway, go ahead.
What, did she suck this?
Yeah, I don't
Did she give Trump... Why?
You know why? Because Omarosa she's more of a loyalist. Not Omarosa, but Trump like loyalty. One thing. And Trump hired... A lot of his companies were ran by women, and Trump
white women,
white and Hispanic, different races actually. But he is a Trump will fire you in a minute if you're not doing a good job at the time. It's not what you've done; it's what you're doing at the time. That's how he is. That's why he had a show where he said, "You're fired." He said, many people he done fired and tried to fire in the White House.
What they got to do with her sucking his thing?
So when she got fired, that sounds like this is what it got to do with it. That sounds like somebody going out trying to tarnish, or either somebody making something up because she is a black woman.
Now this is my point exactly. Black women and blowjobs and the stigmatism behind them. I didn't see the episode of Insecure, but I did see the clip where the friends were all taking a fellatio class, I believe, and all of them had their opinions. Of course, the light-skinned girl was the one who was very fluid in giving oral sex, and she was trying to encourage her girls that they should do the same. Of course, they called her a Becky because she went to a white school, and they said, okay, of course, you was around Becky's, of course you would be sucking dick. And then one person's like, well, I do it if he do me first. I follow the leader, but he got to do it first. And one was like, they just don't do it. They just don't feel right, or whatever the case may be. I can't remember what character that was, but she basically was like, I ain't with that mess. It just don't feel right. I just feel like if you suck a man dick, it's like you beneath them or something. And so that night she went, and after her class, she decided to show off her skills and, give her friends with benefits some head. He wanted her boyfriend, friends with benefits, and he nutted in her face. He came in her face, and she went ballistic and ran out or whatever.
This was a television show?
Yeah, Insecure. It happened on Insecure. And so out of this particular episode and me seeing what went on with Omarosa and Trump allegations in terms of her giving him fellatio, I wanted to talk about black women and the brain.
I just don't even like the way you brought that into a political situation. I mean, it's not
even political for me. It's about a black woman
I get it, but
even if she didn't do it, but because she was in the White House, she had to have been sucking his dick to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like we can't be in any.
But who was putting that? Is that a white person doing it? Or is that a black person?
I don't know. It's all in the news saying that she was doing inappropriate stuff in the White House. She
was saying inappropriate things. She was cussing out everybody around her. Omarosa is aggressive. She's. If you look at her, if you if you followed her, she's just an aggressive person.
She's very aggressive and very smart, but it's so smart that sometimes it's ignorant to me
Right.
sometimes. But anyway, let's get back to Pinky and the Brain. So, I put this question out, in my Facebook group about, oral sex and the different connotations of
Right.
women. And all the women was like, what? Yeah, I do it. That's my man. And some people was like, no, his balls stink, and the people had different opinions about whether they will or will not have oral sex. Of course, all the men are all for it, and nobody seems to think it's a big deal anymore, that the stigma of having oral sex, giving head, giving blowjobs, and we're not talking about oral sex with women, but oral sex with men, and how it looks for a woman to give oral sex to a man. And what is he thinking of her, after it's over with? Is she a hoe? What's that Lil Wayne song? He said after he get himself off, he don't even want you to talk. Just bye. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, once you get yours as a man, you're no longer concerned about the person who just did it becomes faceless, basically. What do you think?
Well, only me talking to you have me talking about this on the mic. Yes.
Just take the sexual out of it. Just talk about what it means.
All right. So let's be realistic. Let's be humanistic. Let's be the creatures of nature that we are. Okay. So that old stigmatism of black women not doing that was something I believe like our parents and stuff was said not to even admit if they did do it. I believe they've been doing it, but that was something that was stigmatized, and even when we was growing up, that's something that women, we don't do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You don't do that as a black person, black woman. They didn't do that. As women grew up and matured our age, even our parents' age, they were doing all kind of stuff in the 70s. The 70s was the time of, how you want to say, the sexuality, the 60s and the 70s, because that was when birth control came into play. All kind of things were done. And that's when they was using a lot of drugs and marijuana and stuff like that. So that generation did a lot. They just don't talk about what they did. That hippie generation, the baby boomers, they did all kind of things. They would never admit it. But
it was embarrassing,
right?
I think.
But as far as the black people in that generation, that is something that's taboo.
Only whores did that.
Right. Unless you was married, because I'm pretty sure married people did. But then also, it was also considered disgusting.
Because married men didn't want their wife doing it. They went to whores to do it.
Not necessarily, but that is out there too. But I'm saying that it was also something considered disgusting, because that's where you release waste.
It's like somebody sneeze, like a penis is sneezing.
It's like somebody putting a boog on you. You know what I'm saying? So people would look at it.
Ew.
And it was disgusting. When I was younger, I thought it was disgusting. I thought for a dude to go, I was like, that wet liquid, that's disgusting. That's
for
a dude to go do that. Even
for a dude to have oral sex with a woman.
Right. I thought that was but I was like in high school and middle school.
So how did you feel about a woman giving?
Even then in not middle school, but I thought it was disgusting in high school, my earlier part of high school. I thought that was a disgusting thing. I really did. I thought that your girlfriend didn't do that. That's what my thoughts was. So, but as I got older and college and around the time, I was like, I guess that's something that now you shouldn't be out there doing all that stuff anyway as a single person.
Okay, let's get away from that.
You shouldn't be out there doing it. I'm not saying I didn't, so I can't. But I'm saying that it's dangerous in our times, even when we was coming up with the AIDS epidemics and all that stuff like that was going on during our generation. So you shouldn't be doing that, because you're supposed to know who you are, and if you go and doing all that stuff at a young age, you'll be you shouldn't just be doing too much stuff. It's all kind of stuff going on. But I had to say that for the kids. Anyway.
I was like, what the hell?
Anyway, but but my point is, that I did think you were discussing, and that was probably something going on in the air. But I believe that it's a sexual act. All of it is a sexual act. I believe the part about it being a sin, because you remember that was a big thing. That's a sin. You doing oral and all that. That's like and
a sin.
Yeah, it's considered a.
Kids these days are doing oral to remain virgins, or they're having anal sex.
Right. But what I'm saying, I want to touch on that because I know that's one of the issues that people didn't do that. A lot of that, like Europe, in the European countries, sex is more fluent. It's more, open. It's out there. Their sexualities and different things like that. In the States, there were like, where it come with people that's Protestant that came over, and they had more of
you always
a
get
religious.
history on me.
They had more of a religious, freedom, but they were very confined, and that's why even the media, you can't show nudity like over there in Europe. You can show nudity. They had that thing. So sex is like very private over in the States.
I want to get back to just black women in general, because I know as a young girl growing up, if you even
I was still talking.
Sorry, but you was
no. I was bringing around to a point though, and that is that when you're dealing with sex, that's how you thinking of it is what I was trying to get to. It's how do people think of sex. So I don't lost train of thought, but either way, get back to your point.
Here's the thing. When I was growing up, if you were even thought, or even the boy even made up that you sucked his penis.
But you're only going back how far you going back. See, that's what I'm trying to...
Listen now, but you were called a chicken head. I graduated in 1988. People were still being called chicken heads in 1988. Sucking dick was not something that you were supposed to be proud of. It's not something that people looked at. Well, you ain't pleasing your man, girl. It's like freakiness.
No, the problem is not doing that or sex. The problem is the open sexuality. It's so much sexual. If people around here bragging about this, if you look at Facebook, some of the posts you put out there, the stuff people say that they do and willing to do and all that, and they boast about it, is like, that's the point I was trying to make. It's becoming more acceptable. What we're talking about now in other places is been talked about way back in the day. So it was more open back then. Now it's becoming more open and more acceptable. So
I don't think
just the fact of you bragging on the woman talking about, oh, my stuff is, I can do this and I can do that. That you being a single woman, that should not be
because freaky is,
that should not be a case of honoring. That should not be a great look at me.
Being a freak is the expectation now to get a man. So I guess a lot of women feel that they have to do this in order to show that they are willing and they're down for whatever to keep a man, because men put such high expectations, high demands on a woman to be better than the next woman. If you just get a woman who just doing straight missionary, you be like, come on, baby, that what? That's all you got? You want somebody who could slap it?
What?
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's so many demands. So of course now women are willing to do any and everything, just like they're willing to accept a man for whatever reason to keep a man. And honestly, they don't expect that from all women. You know what I'm saying? And then if you find women, especially black women, that are going above and beyond, they are stigmatized and called all kind of names and degraded because of it. But honestly, if a white woman do, it's acceptable. What a lot of black men say when the evolution of dick sucking came explosive. She did it, and it was a white girl. She do white. That's why I'm dating a white woman, because she freaky as hell. It was like, it was okay for her to be freaky, but if we freaky, we a hoe.
I think it's okay to be freaky, in
You
a
get what I'm
exclusive. No, I think I'm trying to get. My point is, it's okay to be even as a black woman, but when you start going from relationship to relationship doing that, it's not a good look. What do you hold back for your soon-to-be or your husband? You have to hold something back. If you're doing all of that stuff in a relationship and you expecting to get married, and let's say the guy married you and he got all of that, then cool, it worked out in your favor. But if you did all these things to this one dude and he leaves you and go to the next person, and now you got to do all these things.
And that's no different. That is no different than me or any woman being a wife to a boyfriend.
Exactly.
Cooking, cleaning, taking care of him, living together. That's no different. So you take the risk either way.
My point is you should not do all of that then. Then don't do it. Don't.
Okay, then so how do you explain to young girls that you can get a man without having to go above and beyond
I don't think they're doing
to prove to them that you're wife material?
I don't think they're doing it.
We should be able to explore our sexuality as women without the burden of sexual racism. I mean, feeling like
I don't think that they're doing that for that reason. I don't think that they're doing all that freaking stuff for that reason. I think they're doing that freaking stuff because they want to explore and do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
And so what I'm saying is you should not be doing all of that already.
Okay. We're gonna talk about within boundaries here because there is a whole sexual fluid hemisphere out there of all sexual gratifications. Right. Anything you want sexually can and will be done to whatever your fetish is there. Right. What I'm talking about, sexual boundaries within a relationship and what men expect from women and why women feel like they have to put y'all sweaty, nasty balls up in our face in order to feel like you approve. We make the cut. We get an A+.
That to me, that is a marriage thing. And I'm not saying that didn't happen. It's
happening now. It happens all the time.
Speak.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness. I'm not saying that didn't happen in my personal life. I'm saying that if I was growing up and I was dating, because I've never said just push myself in a woman's face, or I've never done it. That was never my thing. Or just don't you looking at me like that? I never just did something like that. Just came over like expect that. Usually somebody did that. They did that on this, and then now it becomes an expectation because you're doing some stuff that I wasn't expecting to get in a relationship because I'm dating you or not. How that happens usually. So if she took the initiative, if she never did that, if a woman just don't do something like that, that's something you save for your marriage. You understand?
Okay, you keep saying marriage. Okay, let's
just
be real.
When I speak of sex,
a lot of things are being done with not within the bounds of matrimony anymore. Let's just keep this real. Some people just choose not to be married.
So don't do it. That's my answer. Go.
So here's the thing. So do you remember as a kid, you knew that one girl, if a boy says that, I'm just gonna say Becky because that's a common name, and it could be any girl, black or white. Mm-hmm. Becky gave me some head. Boy, she gets some good head. And guess what, everybody? Now Becky's so popular, all the other boys want to be Becky's.
Becky should run because
they want to reach out to Becky because they think Becky giving head. And then once she give everybody head, or they even lie and say she give head, now she's all kind of hoes and bitches and sluts and all these different kind of things.
Well, I'm going to say this about Becky and Brenda. If Becky or Brenda never went that route, because if you're a boy, if you're a teenager, and I wish little girls realize this, if you do anything, hear me, I don't care, it's the slightest whatever, you do anything with that boy, they're going to tell it.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell it and magnify it like it's going to be like you did way more than what you did.
So that's still going on today, right?
Right.
So why is it any different? Because that was going on when I was a kid or when my mother was a kid, that same thought process. So why is it any different now with women who give blowjobs back then and now? It's the same thing. You get the same response.
I don't think that that is the case anymore. You keep saying that
because I'm really
I
trying.
think that's
I'm
an
really trying
older
to pull
generation.
I don't think it is. I think it's going on now, and I think
who is saying that? What?
Okay, let's forget who's saying. Let's talk about what's really happening. We're not in everybody's bedroom, anybody's relationship, but we know.
But okay. I know what you're talking about. Like even when you saw on this show, I think that probably is a thing being said. Like, okay, we both know that blowjobs is probably pretty common. You saying it's not. I would say this: people ejaculating in someone's mouth. That is not that common in the black community. I know, don't throw up, but that's not that common in the black community. But
so we think.
But then you hear about it, then it actually is happening. So because you're right, women probably feel that they got to go to the next level or whatever, and there's so much being taught in the sexual community as well as sexual in different communities that to do certain things. Women have parties now. Y'all have these little toy parties.
Yeah, we do. I actually went to a fellatio class.
And then they teach y'all this stuff. And
I didn't learn anything because I cannot do that stuff.
Well, anyway,
did it make you lose your train of thought?
Yeah, you did make me lose your But you know what? Speaking of that, you know, in Asia and other countries, they teach a woman how to
please a man.
Yeah, please do certain things before they even ever get touched by men. You know, they teach.
But I think they're doing that for marriage, though.
Yeah,
I think they're doing that for marriage. I'm not really necessarily. I just keep thinking about. We so quick to call women hoes. We so quick to sexualize women and to judge them based on their actions, and it's easy to do because if you're acting some type of way, of course you're going to get judged. But you just got to think about historically, black women especially, have never been given the opportunity to have a healthy sex life. You get during the slave days, we were drug up into the house, being forced to have sex with.
Trust me, black women have had a healthy sex lives.
So you call that? So that type of,
you cannot walk around with those kind of booties behinds on them and not have a healthy.
Look at you sexualizing women. See, this is not even funny. But seriously, this goes back to the slave days when women were forced against their will to please somebody who tortured them. It's like we've never been given a fair chance to have a healthy sex life, to explore our own self and our own sexuality, to see what makes us feel good. We're so busy trying to please somebody else, and then
I agree,
and if you get an ignorant dude who thrives on demeaning women, because I have seen several posts out there who's saying that my wife is too good to suck my dick, but this girl over here who I'm not married to, perfect, she can do it. So that's dehuman. That's horrible. That's horrible to classify.
A woman on a pedestal.
Yes, it's horrible to classify women like that for whatever reason. You think she a hoe because she's sucking your dick, but your wife not supposed to do that, and then you don't even think it's cheating. You in your mind, you preserving your wife's innocence. What kind of bull crap is that?
I tell you, people got crazy thought processes out there, but I will say this, that
it's just a hypersexualized culture.
I know,
it's just ridiculous. Yeah. And I'm mad. I done got myself mad now.
Well, you sat here and said that y'all were tortured and everything. Imagine being
man having to watch that.
Man have to see that happen. Oh my goodness, that's just.
And just can't do anything about it.
Can't do nothing about it.
It's like it's like demasculating that word.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more than demasculating, because now then she has a child that ain't his.
And he got the raise.
He got that's master baby there. That's my baby there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm being funny in it, but it's that's a deep thing. But let's bring it back to 21st century. We gotta.
I just think women need to do better to preserve their.
But you said enjoy your sexuality. I think
I don't mean having sex. Enjoying your sexuality. I mean learning to learning your body, know what feels good to you, learning how to make yourself feel good. It's not always about being sexual. It's about knowing who you are and loving yourself, so you could teach people how to love you. Maybe that's why women are willing to accept any old thing, because we don't know. We're so busy being taught how to please somebody else. We don't know how to please ourselves. And I don't mean in a sexual way. I mean in a way of how to treat ourselves good.
Right.
We so busy thinking that if we're not married, we're going to be a spinster, we're going to be lonely, and we're never going to have anybody.
Right.
Because it's been planted that we're supposed to be married, you're supposed to get out there, get you graduate, get you whatever. The process of getting a man and having a marriage and having kids.
Right.
And it's nothing out there that's teaching us how to love yourself and teach yourself how to love you, so you can teach somebody else how to love you and cherish you. So if you do decide to give this man fellatio, aka blowjob, aka suck they dick, aka whatever, you okay with it. He may be immature about it, but you're okay with it because it's something that you want to do. It's not only pleasing for him, but it's pleasing for you. But because if you feel like there's something that's expected from you, you're not going to get the full effect of the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm psychoanalyzing now, but this is how I feel about this stuff.
Yeah, I think you have a point as far as you're supposed to know yourself. That is something that we don't, that I was going a long way about the conversation, but when I was talking about how it's very closed in America about, sex and whatever like that, people learn sex nowadays. The kids nowadays learn more about sex from porn and everything like that. They get off the internet. That's how they learn about sex. They don't learn it from their parents. It's very rarely that you actually do learn about sex from your parents. I don't even care about, even back in the old days with us, that was something you didn't learn from your parents. You probably touched on the subject, but
yeah, you didn't learn how to actually
do
have
anything.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah,
and
that would be weird. Wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah,
we had to teach our kids
talk
that
about that at all. I'm like,
baby, you get in there and you do. Ugh.
But it does be like that in some cultures.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Whew, so how you feel about blowjobs? You okay?
I think
you got through that conversation?
That's fine. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that my whole thing about it is women just need to, not just women. I think women are key to it, but
I think we need to be mature.
But, I think that we need to chill on. It's so much out there going on, and we're the ones dying of AIDS and all these diseases. It isn't other cultures at the rate that we're going, that's happening to us. And it's because we out there trying to do a lot of things that we use our bodies. Our young kids are using their bodies as tools, getting money, using their bodies as doing all kind of things. So, drugs, different things like that. So, I just think that we need to be taught like we supposed to be taught is to abstain as much as possible as a female, because y'all are the gatekeepers. I've always said that.
We got the key to the kingdom.
And the dude ain't gonna do nothing. Now we're gonna go try, but if y'all do that, then it's a respect of the woman. That's why women, when they get ready when they looking for a husband, they don't want to do nothing with that one dude that they want to marry, that they want to have a relationship with. They make him wait and do all that. The dude, and I said this before, but the dude that they just looking at, but they know he ain't no good, dog, dirty, whatever. They look at him and say, I'll never marry nothing like that. But that's what they looking at to go do that with. Right. But my whole point is, y'all are the gatekeepers. If y'all respect y'allself, not because you resist your own will, and you respect yourself, when you do get married, the person that you abstaining from with and got married will respect you the same thing. He'll put you on that pedestal that we put our wives on that pedestal, and they'll keep you on that pedestal. But what you got to do is have that conversation. When I get married, there's things I want to do. Right. And is it okay with you? And if he said my wife can't do that, that's a conversation that is really needed to be known before y'all get into it, because that should be discussed. Sexuality. I'm not saying you go out and practice it before marriage, but it should be discussed if you decide y'all not going to do it before marriage. But nowadays, women will not marry anybody they don't do nothing with. A lot of women will not do that.
And on that note, we're going to go slide right into the anonymous tea real quick. It's a quick little question somebody asked me. Is it cheating if a man or woman who are married use porn to get off?
No. Next question.
Why not?
It's not cheating unless the spouse don't like the fact that they are watching porn. Maybe because they have an addiction or just the fact that they don't like it. They think it's a disgusting thing to watch other people on film.
I think it becomes cheating when it becomes secretive.
It's cheating. It's cheating if your spouse don't like it.
When it's secretive, it's excessively secretive, and it's affecting your normal sex life with your spouse. I believe it is cheating. But I think porn is something normal that can be incorporated into a marriage relationship if that's what you're both into.
Porn should be
it could be a stimulant. I mean, honestly,
probably
it's based on how you look at it.
It could be a stimulant. It could be something like that. But porn is a taboo thing. Well, it's more acceptable nowadays to watch that and stuff. But I have to say, for the kids, it's not something you want to start, because you may get addicted to something like that, and it's not something that you want to have a beholding over you. Is you have to watch that. But go ahead.
And on that note as well, everybody, thank you.
That's not another question?
No.
Is that it?
That's it. Thank you for tuning in to Tea with Monroe. Please definitely get out there and follow me on all my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also check out my podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Google Play.
Right.
And I just want to leave you with the famous words of Luke. Head, and more head. Put your nuts in your mouth and hum. Make that dick come or squirt like a water gun. I like bitches with fat lips. Smoking head, make that nigga do backflips. But I got beef for those raggedy hoes who like to use their teeth and stand the nigga up. And I switched to the bottom of this because this is crazy. Head, and more head. Head, and more head. It's all about that head, and more head. And to all, a good night.
This is being edited out, right?
No, this is Luke. This is a song. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. This is so effing degrading. This is a freaking song. And granted,
that's a song in the 80s.
Actually, it was in y'all ready for that 1991, 92 head, booty, and cock thing? Oh, that was a verse in the song. I don't know when this song came out.
It came out.
But y'all look at
was like,
and he do talk about eating cooch too, so he's an equal opportunity. Yeah, he's equal opportunity. He talking about eating cooch too, so he equal opportunity. So okay, but my point is, this is the type of stuff we gyrate to and dance to and rock to and vibe to.
That was in the 90s, 80s, and 80s.
Good night, y'all. Appreciate everyone who is listening to the podcast today. If you have any questions, comments, or topics you would like for us to discuss in future episodes, email me at twithmonroe Facebook, at Twitter, at Tea with Monroe, or on Instagram under Monroe Bishop. Thank you, and everyone have a blessed day. Bye.